Hi everyone. I don't know if I'm ready for this. I'm honestly scared. It's a weird feeling because I'm expecting this. Let me turn this down slightly. I'm expecting this to be my favorite game of all time, or at least out of things that I know exist, this is gonna be my favorite game ever. And this is like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to see it for the first time, and after that, I'll have seen it. And I can say, from my slight, 2 hours of testing and adjusting audio and stuff at the start, even in the tutorial, even from the very start, there are already new things as far as cinematics and such that were not there when I tried the early access build from before. So from the very start, we're gonna get new exciting things, and I get to point out what things I've seen and haven't seen before. And keep in mind for context, let's go over here. Keep in mind for context, the last time I played a lot of Baldur's Gate 3, for realsies, was probably 3 years ago. Or maybe 2 years ago, probably 3 years ago. Since then, I've mostly just dabbled in the tutorial area, to just see some new things, and I've watched some people's videos of dialogue conversations, and that sort of thing. Hold on, I'm trying to find what would be a fitting song. This one. Bam. Something chiller. So I've been trying not to indulge in the early access too much, for fear that I would burn out on the first act of the game if they didn't add a lot to it. But they've already added so much that was not there before, so I'm very excited. I think they said they added 33% more dialogue to Act 1, which of course I would assume includes all the stuff that was locked off that you couldn't do before. But also there's a ton of redone cinematics and things. It's crazy. Watch it turn into Frost's most hated game. That's not possible because I've already invested. What does Steam say? Steam says I have 118 hours in the game. Keep in mind, most of that is me forgetting I have it open or just testing. Probably 50 hours of that I think is just me testing just OBS stuff and audio settings and things, or just messing around in character creation, not actually playing the whole thing or anything. Yeah, it's not gonna be my most hated game, I'll tell you that. I have plenty of things I hate more. Games I didn't finish. Could it be a disappointment? I mean, parts of it's possible, but the early access being incomplete was already my favorite game of all time. Forgotten Realms Scholar already? All right, let's do it. We gotta warm up. All right, we gotta warm up the stream. 30 FPS, let's go. It's gonna look beautiful, but sadly my hardware is almost it's 7 years old. If I had the lowest end card of that generation, so I'm a bit behind. But once I can afford one, it'll be good. Is it 30 FPS while streaming? In general, Crummy. So the way it works is when I stream, I use the GPU as well, but it's using a different chip on the GPU, so recording and everything, recording is on my CPU. Streaming it shouldn't have any effects at all, because it's on a separate chip versus everything else, so it should be completely separate. I guess we'll know when we start the game. I could always pop open the frame thingy to see, but even on very low, the highest I can hit is 50. So that's how the early access was too, once they updated the engine. God, this random page. Oh dear Lord, Chromie. Do you want to take a wild guess at what we may have? I don't think you're gonna guess what it is. What kind of page that we rolled with our lore, because it is something silly and almost fitting for the comedic vibes that Larian Studios typically has. It is not a same page now, but it's just something so silly. looking at Tekken 4 stuff most of the day. Ooh. Nice, nice. Fancy videos. All right. All right. Oh, sorry, my camera's messed up for this. Sorry. I have a overlay thingy on, but How did you know, Chromie? How did you know? How did you know it was about cheese? Good guess. We're gonna learn about Turmish Black, which is a type of cheese made in Turmish in the Vilhon Reach in the mid to late 14th century DR, which is the century that we're in. This is gonna bother me. Let me, actually, what I can do is I can copy my cam frame from the other scene, so it makes sense. I have a mask on it for the border I'm using for BG3, so it obviously doesn't work in this context. Ta-da! I fixed it. Yeah, Larian loves their cheese. So in the year of the sword, 1365 DR, which is actually around the time of, sorry, we're not in 14th century DR in BG3. The centuries confuse me. We're in the 1400s, 1493. That's the 15th century, because centuries are weird like that. This takes place in 1365, which is around the time of Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. Sir Rivaldo is traveling in a coach along the tradeway from the Way Inn to Waterdeep with an assortment of fine cheeses, including Turmish Black. From the adventure Marco Volo, Departure. Published in 1994. God, how did you know about the cheese, though? That was such a lucky guess. I know Larian likes cheese, but still. Thanks to all my talk about this game, you had a dream based around it? What did the dream entail? I'm curious. You had a Kraken cult use purple rock cheese for schemes. Oh, and one of your games you're DMing? Alright, well, unless we have any more... God, that was like a... See, this game is making things happen. Once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. Also, by watching the stream, you get some free Twitch drop stuff for Baldur's Gate 3 if you ever plan on playing it. You can actually redeem that, even if you don't own the game. It just connects to your Larian account. Yeah. New loading screens! I'm so excited. There's new loading screens, guys! Something so minor. Something so minor. And I'm just like, oh my god, look at the art. I'm gonna be freaking out during most of this, so maybe I should move my microphone just a little bit more away from my face. I do have caps and all. I should never hurt anybody's ears, but... Also, load times are going to be a thing because I have an SSD. This is installed on an SSD, but it's not an NVMe SSD, or it's not one that goes into an M2 slot on your motherboard, direct connection, all that. It's a SATA one. So, yeah. Was this game updated recently? Okay, I don't know how much you know about Baldur's Gate 3, Duchess. The game just released into 1.0 today. For the last 3 years, it's been in early access with a first look at the first act of the game. And it got updates here and there for new classes for playtesting and stuff like that. But this is the full version of the game. And it just released almost like 10 hours ago. So yeah. You know nothing. Okay. For context, this is Baldur's Gate 3. This is technically the third game in a series. However, the original games released about 20-something years ago. But the original was in 1998, my birth year. And then the other one was in 2000, I think? 2001? Something like that. And the originals were by BioWare. You may know for making, later on, Dragon Age, Mass Effect, Anthem, and, you know, stuff like that. Yeah. But this was made by Larian Studios, who Most notably worked on the Divinity games, Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2 being the most popular of the bunch. And this is their next game. So this is also sort of like a Telltale game in that they do have a little thing. Oh, it's not going to appear because I'd be covering it though. Ah, the memes. I did testing and I found that being up here was the best position because I won't be covering up other UI elements. But you're not going to see the like so-and-so approves or disapproves. I'm going to have to try to remember to read those out loud because I'm going to be covering it. If I sit at the bottom, I think I end up covering one of the characters. Like if I move the camera to the bottom, I'd cover up one of the characters' health, which is like, you know, pretty important to know. Though I suppose on Twitch, you guys will actually be able to open up all that stuff if you're in a browser. You could see it. Just, you could like click on some menus for an extension. But I don't know. Let's click and hear some of the wonderful tunes of Borislav's Evolve. Temple of Ball. Oh, yes, I'm so excited. Oh. So just in case anyone was like, there's no ball in here. How is this Baldur's Gate? Well, there you fucking go. That's the symbol of ball right there on on this obvious creepy cult temple thing. So we might have some ball in this Baldur's Gate game. Let me know how the audio is. It should be fine because I tested it. But I found that the music is just not loud enough and I can't get it louder without completely ruining everything else. In this context, it's probably fine, but I just wish it was louder. I want to hear it because I love the music so much. I've been listening to it nonstop. All right, we're gonna go through some options here first because we gotta go to the nitty gritty. All right, okay, let's see, autosave things. There's cross-save if you happen to want to play this on console or something, which is not out on a console yet. We have some options for genitalia and nudity, which I'm going to disable because on Twitch, it probably, the genitals probably not, because there's an option to disable them. It's kind of like Cyberpunk in that way. There's going to be a little nudity, or like Witcher. The Witcher, I don't think they show hardly anything in Witcher 3. I don't know. Anyway, as far as nudity, it's fine on Twitch, as long as you don't make it the focus of the stream. But given that there's an option to disable it, again, it'd probably be safer not to. And for YouTube, I don't think they allow hardly any sexual content on YouTube. So just for those purposes, we're gonna have these disabled. So if we do romance stuff, as it says, you can still do romances if these are disabled. These are for content creation and all that. And just, you know, general accessibility, comfortability, comfortability, what words? If you don't feel comfortable with this type of content, you can disable it in a way. Yeah. I'll have to do some testing when we get there to see what exactly this entails as far as how those scenes work. I wonder if they just skip the actual part. Yeah. Hey, Gamers Tavern Show. Hi. Thank you for following 6 hours ago. These private things is for multiplayer. So if you wanted and you're playing with a friend, you could have your conversations shared, or you could have them set to private so other people can't peep on you in your romance scenes. We don't need all these highlights or anything. We can manually turn on highlights later if we want to see. We're gonna have metric for all of you who aren't in America and like I think one other country. But also, see, I don't know metric But also, this is a fantasy game where no amount of distance, you could tell me that a spell could go 15 feet, and I still won't really know how far that is. So we're gonna go with metric, because it's a fantasy game where I can't really look at it and gauge distances from the camera angle anyway. So you might as well just learn metric while I'm at it, you know? Karmic dice is a thing where you have really bad luck, you can turn it on, and it essentially will try to tip the odds in your favor if you roll really badly a lot. But I hear this can sometimes be a nuisance in combat with how ridiculous some of the swaying can be. So we're not going to use it. We're going to keep it real and save scum if we want. This is really nice. This allows you to auto-select whoever you want after a combat encounter, which would be very useful because the way dialogue worked in the first two games is, in Original Sin 2 is it would trigger if whoever's closer and you could get the wrong character and all this stuff. So hopefully this helps prevent that situation. Yeah. You forgot to follow after the Baldur's Gate 2 stream a few days ago. You don't know what I had to do. You find your channel again. Oh my goodness. You had to do something while you waited for the 1.2 megabits per second game to download. Yeah, it took me about 4 or 5 hours to download this game. Ugh. We're gonna just spend probably an hour going through just options because I got a lot to say. It's gonna be my favorite game ever, so. Panning. There's a dynamic combat camera where sometimes. Wait. Whose turn it is during combat or turn. Oh, yeah, it'll move the camera around. Some people don't like it when the camera moves without their permission. There's camera shake. We have creatures that use fly. It'll follow them. And we have a Twitch extension, which is connected and should be working once we go into a game. You'll be able to see all of our party members. I think our quest log, possibly, and you can see our inventory. That's how it used to be before. And I think I have to manually enable it per dialogue. But you guys can vote on dialogues, which is cool. Only if you're on a browser. If you're on like a computer and you're watching via like Google or something, you can actually click on, or you can hover over the screen on the stream, and then you can click a dialogue option to vote for it if I've enabled voting. Otherwise, for people who are on mobile or on a TV or whatever, you can just type in a number in chat, and that's fine because all of the dialogue options are numbered, so it works. It's fine. All right, we're not gonna worry about keybinds or anything. Though these are gonna bother me because I've been playing Baldur's Gate 2 for 100 hours, and I'm gonna keep hitting tab to look for items on the field versus hitting alt. But I'm not gonna change it. I'm gonna get used to it. Video settings, I'm not gonna look at all of them, but we're running it on sort of high, except I can't really run it that well anyway. We're gonna be running it like 30 to 40. It's good enough. It's whatever. I just have older hardware, so. In multiplayer, you can ping stuff. I wonder if I want to enable this so I could ping things I'm pointing at to make it more obvious, but I'm probably just gonna forget to do that. I'll enable it. You can lock the minimap to be north facing instead of camera facing. Tutorials. Enable to temporarily display combat log messages after events and actions in the game. I noticed that a little bit in the tiny little bit I tested, where sometimes it spoils a cutscene's about to happen because it says character initiated dialogue. I feel like I want to disable that. I think I just want the combat log to be a combat log. But we'll see. Tooltips are cool. We got subtitles on because I personally need to read. I can't just listen to things and pay attention. I need to like read ahead and then get impatient of the characters to finish talking. Or YouTube videos, anything. We're gonna show the speaker, even though it could... I think they are very careful and they don't spoil who characters are, generally speaking. But I'm gonna show it just in case someone's like, what's going on over there? What are we voting on? You know. We're not gonna have a background. You can turn on a background. That's a little bit too immersion breaking for me. I think it's legible enough. A bunch of stuff. These are settings I've set to where it doesn't automatically throw a bunch of crap I pick up into my hotbar. And as far as accessibility, this is actually a bunch of stuff that was in the other menus. It's just also over here if you just specifically want to jump to it. That's nice. Rotating minimap. I'm sorry, Tisma. I like it. I like turning and then I know which direction I'm going versus looking at the minimap and then looking at my character and then like turning around trying to look at a pointer or something to figure out where I'm going. I actually don't. Did they show it on here? Did they show? Yeah, your character has like a, you can kind of see the arrow on it. It's just confusing to me. I'd rather just, yeah, they disorient you. I'm sorry. Hopefully they won't disorient you while you're watching here. Personally, I like the rotating mini maps, but I don't know. All right, we're gonna hit a new game then. So, there are difficulty modes now. There's Explorer, which is a lot easier combat and such for people who just want to not have to worry about building a super strong character to get through the game. There's Balanced, and then there's Tactician, which is tough. And you can change these at any time outside of combat. I don't think you can change them in combat. That'd be a little weird. We're gonna go for Tactician first. Actually, I'm gonna click on them. It's gorgeous art. We're gonna go for Tactician first, and then if it turns out to be a little bit too much or a little too ridiculous, we'll go back to Balanced. But I think, based on the however many hours I've actually invested in playing the actual game, I think we can do it if we try. I'm so excited. I should have mentioned this. If you're a bit squeamish, you may want to look away during a certain part of this cutscene. I'll let you guys know when. I'll let you know. Just sit back, get your popcorn. If you're squeamish, you may want to look away. Probably good now. I'm sorry, Duchess. Yeah, I gave a warning. I didn't want to say, by the way, you should look away because an illithid tadpole is about to enter her skull. Or, Lae'zel's skull in this case, which isn't a spoiler because she's right here. This is your third time watching it today? Oof. Look at all the lavender in the background. For this scene, I'm actually gonna move the camera because there's gonna be some checklist stuff in the top, but I need to potentially be reminded to move it back because being down here covers up some stuff later. Though the UI could be a bit different and maybe we do want to be down here. Ooh. Anyway, so in this game, you can be a variety of different characters, sort of like Divinity Original Sin 2, if anyone's familiar with that. You have an origin character that's completely custom, and then you have these characters, which are actually all party members in the game, but you can choose to play the game as them, in which you get different dialogue options, and such. However, the only problem with playing as them on a first playthrough is it kind of spoils their story, because you don't get to experience them as companions who are talking to you, and then you figure out the mystery and what drives them and all that. You're just playing as them essentially as a sort of, custom character, making choices for them. So it kind of spoils some stuff. So probably not recommended unless you really just don't want to play a custom character at all. But this game in particular, unlike Divinity Original Sin 2, is more so made for custom characters. All right. The Dark Urge is an exception in this case. The Dark Urge is actually a custom character as well, except they have their own origin story that you unlock throughout the game. Though they have warned that this origin story it probably takes over the main narrative a bit in a way that you really should play it on another playthrough. Replay options is what we have here. If you don't want to just play as an origin or a custom character again as a different everything, you could play as one of these characters if you want. Or the Dark Urge, who is a custom character who has her own backstory. Like a whole main quest thing that apparently changes the story quite a bit with how it's incorporated. So anyway, we're going to do a custom character, which is what the devs have said the game is more so encouraging you to be. And we're going to proceed with that. So this whole menu is completely different from how it was before. I think we're still going to go with the plan on being a half-elf. Can you not specify here? Oh, it's over here. Okay. The menus are all different. Okay, so we can just see the racial features over here. That's nice. Does it change? And the proficiencies are all on the right, so we can just see them at a glance. That's so nice. So something that they did take out that was in the early access are ability score modifiers per race. So normally, how it used to be in D&D was you would pick a character, like a half-orc, for example, very notorious, and that character would have -1 or -2 intelligence or something. Or you would pick a human and you could put like 2 or 3 points in any of these things that you want. Or you could be a half-elf and you get, I think, 1 in intelligence. Or you get 1 in charisma, and then you get 2 points you can invest other places. They took all that out for obvious reasons. D&D is trying to get away from emphasizing races in like a min-max sort of way. So they're trying to get away from that because people will argue over whether or not someone should be a half-orc wizard if they have low intelligence. It's not optimal. You're going to be awful. Stuff like that. So they've taken that out in this as well, which I appreciate. Yeah, the Dark Urge seems like they're going for a ball spawn influence kind of thing. Maybe not a ball spawn, but some sort of influence by ball. So that's more so catering to people who really want that sort of experience where you're resisting a dark power or, indulging in it in this game. Ooh, there's multiple body types. Oh wait, it's just the guys. Okay, the guys and the gals. Or masculine and feminine, I should say. Okay. So something to keep in mind is if you are somebody who doesn't, how do I put it? I was gonna say you don't align with or your character idea, or you in general, if you're trying to make yourself in the game, or you feel more comfortable making someone who's like you. If you don't align with typical genders and such like that, they actually don't apply a gender to your character in this game other than what you can pick. You can actually pick to go by they, them. You can go by she, her, he, him. And they don't specify that, this is what is it? This one. They don't say this is male, this is female. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4. The other ones being buff versions if you want a buffer looking character. That's very nice. I'll have to see if they mention it somewhere as far as your gender, because that used to be a thing in early access that you would pick what gender it was, but maybe they've taken that part out and they just use general pronouns now. There's very few times I think they would refer to you by your pronoun. Tav! So cute. It's under voice. All right, we'll get there. I'm sure it's somewhere in here with like customizing your appearance and such. Anyway, I think we're gonna be a half elf because I wanted to be a full elf, but then I'm kind of like, I don't know. Maybe I should just go halvesies. Elves can be so snooty. Why don't we just be between, you know? So as a half elf, which I'm not going to go through everything necessarily. I might go back and just look at some stuff. I mean, like the Dragonborn, that's a playthrough idea. I want to be a lizard person again like I was in Divinity. But yeah, let's just go through them. We have elves of various kinds. There's There's high elves and there's wood elves. They have their own special things. We have tieflings, tails included. We have Asmodeus, Mephistopheles, yeah, and Zariel tieflings. We have drow, in which you can be Lolthsworn or Seldarine. This is really just a religion, essentially. Evil versus good, so to speak. We have humans. We have Githyanki, dwarves, in which there are gold dwarves, shield dwarves, and Duergar, which for some reason are under this category when the drow got their own thing, but I think it's because the drow play a much more important role in this game versus the Duergar, so. We have half-elves, in which you can be a high half-elf, a wood half-elf, or a drow half-elf. There are halflings with Lightfoot and Strongheart. We have gnomes, in which we have rock gnomes, forest gnomes, and deep gnomes. Again, another Underdark race. We have Dragonborn, which can be of all the different colors of the chromatic and silver dragons. Look at all of them. And you can customize the heads and all. These are just here to, you know, show you some differences. And the result of these is you get some resistance to whatever element they are, and you get whatever breath of the dragon in which you have your blood from. And then you have half-orcs. There we go. I think we'll go for a half-elf. We'll go halvesies. The other problem I have with an elf is it would make sense in a way for me to be like metagaming knowledge of enemies and such, because I'm an elf and I've lived for a long time. But then again, it also makes me feel weird thinking my character could potentially be hundreds of years old and having to think about that and how I'm going to outlive most of my companions, and that's just making me sad. So we're going to just be a half elf who lives a little long, but not that long. The power. Yeah, Seldarine drow is a new thing, which they kind of had drow who've worshipped the Seldarine before, just like random ones, but now it's a new thing where they're going, well, maybe we shouldn't have an entire race of people specifically worship a goddess of chaos and death, you know? Maybe we should make it to where, you know, within the thousands of years they've existed, some of them have, you know, when they went underground, some of them just didn't worship Loth and they just worshipped other gods, whether they're evil or good, you know? Just for variety's sake. It's kind of weird to me, the idea that a race would specifically only worship one goddess and they literally haven't done anything else for thousands of years, even though there have been outliers who've escaped. Like, it's kind of weird when you think about it, that there aren't other varieties. All right, half-elves, okay. Curious, ambitious, and versatile, half-elves are welcome everywhere, but struggle without a community to call their own. That sounds like me. I have a base racial speed of 9 meters per turn, which is about the same as most of the elves, yes, as most of the races, except for the smaller races, which have a lower base racial speed of 7.5. I All of them do. Yeah. So as a half-elf, civil militia, you have weapon proficiency with spears, pikes, halberds, and glaives. And armor proficiency with light armor and shields. That works for me. We have dark vision, which means we can see in the dark up to 12 meters. So this game has 3 different versions of vision. We have regular vision, like boring human vision, where we can't see anything in the dark. We have dark vision, which means dim light is visible light. You know, it looks normal. And then for drow, there is superior dark vision, where you can see twice as far in the dark. This is also important because there are game mechanics that revolve around being able to see in the dark to target enemies and whether or not you get advantage because something's obscured or not. So it's actually pretty important. And it's important for the enemies as well, because if you're sneaking around, if there are any elves or drow or anything like that, you need to be careful because they can see very far in the dark. We also have Fey Ancestry, which means we have advantage on saving throws against being charmed, and magic can't put you to sleep, which is very important because if you have a sleep spell and you're fighting people with elven ancestry, or Fey ancestry specifically, here it says, it's elves or Fey, don't use a sleep spell on them because it's not going to work. And don't try to charm them either. Okay. So as our sub-race, I think I'm just going to be a high half-elf because I don't know if I don't really want to be like a woodsy elf. I just want to be like a normal, I guess, normal generic half-elf, I think. A touch of the Feywild remains in the half-elves with this bloodline, and even those untrained in magic possess a hint of wild power, which means we get a free cantrip, which I can't change yet. I have to go over here to change it. Oh, look at that! That's so nice! They tell you what your spellcasting ability is, so that you know what all your spells or your cantrips in here are gonna scale with, if they scale at all. We can see what the spell save DC is. Ooh, that's cool. So this is if a spell requires the enemies to make a saving throw to avoid an effect, you know what they have to roll over in order to succeed. So in this case, it'd be a 10. And you know, what's it? This is a bonus to hit with my spell. Cool. There's no new things in here, so I know what these all are. I feel like I have to pick Ray of Frost because I'm Elegant Frost. Most of these cantrips I feel mixed about. Acid Splash. Like, I assume most of these are probably better than how they are on tabletop. But I kind of want to pick Bone Chill because it prevents the target from healing on their until their next turn, and then an undead target receives disadvantage on attack rolls, because I know we're eventually going to be fighting some undead. A lot of undead, probably. So that would be useful. And oh wait, they changed the name of it! They changed the name! They changed the name, guys! Did they change this in D&D too? Because it used to be called, like Chill Touch or something. They changed it to where you don't go, oh, it's a touch spell, and then you ignore it. Because it's a ranged attack. It's called like Chilling Touch or something, wasn't it? We just had a conversation about this not too long ago. Also, this is Hildegard von Blingen, I'm pretty sure. It's still Chill Touch in D&D. They changed it because they knew. Like, why is this called Touch? It's not a touch spell anymore. It's a ranged spell of 18 meters. You can use it across the room. So I don't know. It could be that they just changed it for the game. They probably got some free license to do whatever. Anyway, we're going to do Ray of Frost. So Ray of Frost is not the most powerful cantrip in the world. And technically, it's maybe a bit redundant because we're going to get a wizard who I think has it. But it is cool because just like in the Divinity games, there is some elemental combination stuff. So if there's a water surface, we can hit it with this and freeze it, and then it's slippery. And enemies, when they move across it, may slip and fall prone, which is funny. I don't know if you can freeze people solid with this, but maybe if they have like a wet status effect or something. I don't know if that's a thing in this game. But the cool thing about this is that you can reduce the target's movement speed by 3 meters, which, keep in mind, our racial speed is about 9 meters, which means this cuts your movement by 1/3. So if you want to prevent someone from running up and hitting you because you're a weaker class, you don't have a lot of constitution, a lot of health, you're not very chunky, you can use this. So more than likely, if they're across the way, they're not going to be able to reach you on their turn. That's pretty nice. So I think we're going to go with this. I think we can change our cantrips later when we level up as well. But we'll see. It only reduces their movement speed for 1 turn. But I could see potential to have fun with this. Otherwise, when we level up at some point, I might pop on Bone Chill because I feel like that's going to be more useful. These other things, we have Acid Splash. It throws some acid at them. Firebolt's like tried and true, does the most damage. It also can light up things on fire, you know. Fire is very useful all the time. Usually it's so strong that things start resisting it after a point, so maybe picking ice is a good thing. We have Poison Spray, which puts out a puff of poison. Shocking Grasp. The target can't use reactions, which means very specific classes have some very strong reactions, but mostly you can use this on something that sneaks up on you, and then you can get away because they don't have an attack of opportunity. And it also has advantage on creatures with metal armor, so very good if a giant bulky paladin runs up to you. We have Blade Ward, which means you only take half the damage from all these attack types, which is probably the most kind of meh cantrip of the bunch in a way, because it means that instead of doing something to prevent yourself from getting hit, you just take half the damage. You have Friends, which is sounds like a useful spell, but I feel like this is one where I'm going to wait for another playthrough to use it, because you gain advantage on charisma checks against non-hostile creatures, but if we read the fine print... wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. Did they change it? Only in higher difficulty modes will the target potentially accuse you of enchanting them. They changed it, so you can use this on, presumably, the narrative story mode difficulty without any repercussions. That's interesting. We are here! You spent like an hour and a half in character creation. For me, I'm just explaining things. I already know what I want, because I've already made my character before. But that's interesting. We're on a higher difficulty mode, so it matters, but essentially, you don't want to just cast this on anybody, because after the spell wears off, they go, darn it, I was enchanted! That jerk! And then they can, they can get mad at you and potentially even start combat. So really, you want to use this on people who you think you're never going to see again, which in a tabletop campaign happens a lot more often than in a video game. So don't use this on anybody who's in like a hub. You want to use this on a random encounter, something like that. Like some random guy, like bandit on the road who wants to rob you. You cast Friends, so you have advantage. Advantage being you roll 2 die and you pick the higher value. You do something like that. It's the same thing with Charm Person, where they can realize that they were charmed and then they can get very angry. All right, we have Dancing Lights, which is very cool. This is an evocation cantrip. It illuminates a 9-meter radius. Remember when I was talking about that darkness stuff? For some of our characters, one of which is a human who can't see for shit in the dark, we're gonna need to light some stuff up for him to see. So there's 2 light spells. There's light, and then there's dancing lights. The difference being this one you cast at a range and illuminate a radius. This one you can only use in melee range. You can infuse an object, which I think in the early access on like someone's person, you like infuse it on their armor. But you could, in theory, put this on an object and like hurl it across the room. You can throw things. And that thing stays lit till a long rest. So you could like put an item on the ground and pick it up and maybe it still has a property. I don't know how it works. The other difference is this is a concentration spell, whereas this one is not. That's very important because you can't have 2 concentration spells on at the same time. Because I think you can like move this with your bonus action or something. But very, very important to consider how many things are concentration, because that means you can only do one of them at a time for an effect wears off. Mage Hand is cool. It's a little ghosty hand that can manipulate things, which I think in the early access it was okay. It's mostly used for people shoving things, spamming. It's supposed to be used for like picking pockets or opening doors, doing levers at a distance. But I think in the early access it actually couldn't open doors. It's kind of weird. We're not going to pick it because we're going to have other characters who I think come with this anyway. We have Minor Illusion, which makes an illusion that compels nearby enemies to go investigate, useful for trying to make distractions so you can sneak. We have True Strike, which is probably the worst cantrip of the bunch in theory, in which I think it's the same as it is on tabletop, where you gain advantage on your next attack roll, and this lasts for 2 turns. So what that means is you cast it, you spend a turn, your action, to cast it on someone, and the next turn, you want to try to get close to them, assuming they haven't ran away, and try to hit them, because now you get to roll 2 die to see if you hit them. Which, if you're just doing a melee attack, means probably you should have just attacked both turns instead of casting this first to see if you would roll 2 die and one would be better. But this is good if you were to cast it and then you're going to do like a really cool spell and you want to make sure that thing hits, and so you do it first. Yeah, it's very niche. It sounds cool, but it's actually like, why don't... Maybe instead of doing that, you should just like try to hit them, deal damage. You might get a crit. I mean, it's very niche. Yeah, you could also use it to try to get crits because you're rolling 2 die. And it's concentration, I don't know. Normally use it on an ally. Oh wait, did they change this? I think they changed this, didn't they? I could have sworn True Strike was you cast it on a creature and then you gain advantage on your next attack roll against them. Unless I just read it wrong. Huh. I thought it was something you used on a creature, not... That's how it was in the early access, I think. Maybe I'm misremembering or I misread it. Our class of choice... We're not going to go through all of these. That'd take all day. We're actually going to be a bard for a variety of reasons. We're going to be a bard because I want to be a bard. I want to be somebody who plays music. The extra bonus of being a bard is you are really good at charisma, which means you're really good as a main character who wants to persuade people to do things, which is very nice. Yeah, I want to do everything. That's what a bard is. They literally have a feat that they get on level up, which is like right after the tutorial, called Jack of all trades. And that's very important because we're going to be picking what our skills and things are. But essentially what Jack of all trades does is you have these things called ability points. Sometimes they're called attributes, sometimes they're called other things. They're called ability points in this game. And you invest points in them. And the higher the number be, the more extra super duper bonuses you get. And I don't know what the heck is going on over here. I don't know what's going on over here. I don't want to look at it right now. Anyway, the more points you put in these things, the more bonuses you get to all of your skills that fall under these categories. Which everything is everywhere. Oh god. Everything's in weird submenus now. I'm confused. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of skills and they all fall under different categories that they say. So if you have a higher number in that stat, you get bonuses every time you have to make a skill check with that thing. So if you want to persuade somebody, if you have a +5 bonus in it, that means your roll's gonna get +5 on it, which is ridiculous. Which means you're very likely to succeed, and then you roll it, and then you get like a 7, and then you feel very bad. But, you know, the odds are higher. So, yeah, your bonus is based on your ability score, and depending on how high or low it is, it does that. But Jack of all trades is super duper special because you can specialize in these skills, and by doing that, you get an extra +2 in whatever it is. But with Jack of all trades, the cool thing about it is you're literally a Jack of all trades. If you do not have a proficiency specifically in any of these skills, what you can actually do is based on your general bonus you get from each of these things, you can get half of your bonus rounded down added on top. So it could actually be good not to pick certain skills because you'll get a super duper bonus if your stats are very high in that thing. So it's a very cool thing. It basically just makes you, the more number go up, the better you are. So numbers are more tightly bound in 5e than 3e, so Jack of all trades is a meaningfully good bonus. Exactly. All right. God, so many things. So much stuff going on. Oh, they really didn't have to put this over here because it's over there. But we can use like basically anything I care about. So we're probably gonna use like rapiers, I think. But why do some of these have glowy backgrounds? Oh, they don't have anything else. Okay. Why is our background all the way down here? I guess it's by the abilities. I feel like it should be higher up. Actually, we didn't even customize our appearance. Where is all that information? I'm confused. Oh, it's down here. Okay, well, let's do that first. Okay, everything's in different spots. They completely changed the UI. I'm confused. Okay, so we can change our identity. We can be non-binary other, we can be male, or we can be female. I'm gonna be female because I'm basically making my little avatar character.
Where to next?
What was that?
Let's hope the locals are friendly.
Hells. Something just woke up down here.
I think 4 was what I wanted.
Be wary. This place is trapped.
It's opened. More of those wretched things.
They got some new voices in.
There's magic keeping this chest sealed. I can...
Where to next?
They got 2 more voices in for each, or for masculine and feminine.
What was that? Let's hope the locals are friendly.
Hells.
Be wary. This place is trapped. It's opened.
There's magic keeping this chest sealed.
Where to next?
That's me. All right. I do like how we can visually see all the faces now. Used to not be a thing before. You just have to scroll through blindly. My eyes are doing that thing where I picked a character. That's been the default, so my brain's just used to that one now, even if it's not the one I want. Oh my gosh, everything's in weird menus now. I don't know if I like it. I'm like pale as heck. Go with that for now. Everything's backwards and weird. I don't know if I like it. Or was I up here? Oh, I think it was one of these. The other one's a little too pallid. Camera's kind of in a weird angle too. It used to be more like top down. Everything's weird and different now. No scarring. We can look at them though. We can have burn scars or like some weird other scars. What are these cool scars? I don't remember if they had scars before. I don't think they did. Oh, we have maturity, which gives us some aged wrinkles. We can have freckles, which is something very important because before they didn't have an option to change how many freckles you had or anything. So you can have like super intense freckles if you want. They also have vitiligo pigmentation, which is pretty cool as an option. I actually had an elementary school teacher who had vitiligo. That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat to see that they have those things. I think this was the face I was gonna go for, but I don't know. It's got that kind of... This one's like more neutrally, but this one's got like the angry eyebrows. I don't think we could change the eyebrows, right? Yeah, we could just change the color. I feel like I like the proportions of this one more. You know what? I gotta change the hair. It's bothering me. Let's see, where's my ponytail? I always do a ponytail. Not this one, though. Whee! Oh, where's this one? They call it the mongoose tail. Yeah. I gotta have my big, gigantic ponytail. That's me. Alright. I feel like this one is the one I had. This one just has that, like, resting bitchiness to it. I don't know how else to put it. Whereas this one's, like, more neutral. I don't know, though. I am pretty critical and judgmental. Maybe I should look like this. You know 2 people in your life with vitiligo. It's cool, it's an option. At some point I'll have to make a character with one. So many playthrough ideas. There's so many tats. Look at all these cool new ones. It's funny how our character got like tentacle themed tattoos before they got abducted. There's a lot of new options. I haven't seen a lot of these. Here, let's zoom on in so you guys can see them. Oh, that's cool for like druid vibes. Holy, some of these are like very intense. Dang, a lot of these people must be like parts of cults or something. All these, there's a lot of stuff going on here. I mean, I guess if you want to make, I mean, geez, like look at all these like magical runes. It's almost like madness. So many options. Of course, you can also be Ghost from Call of Duty. There's also piercings. Got some different options. It seems that they're very set. But if you want some, they're there. We're not gonna go through everything. You can have heterochromia, which is super cool. If you don't know what that is, it means you have eyes that are different colors, which is pretty neato. We're not gonna do it, but it's there. You can also, you notice there's like a toggle button for all eyes, because for example, elves don't normally have demonic eyes, but if you want it, you can. Normally those are for tieflings. But otherwise, you can be restricted to like the lore-friendly options of just what that race would normally have. Which for me, I'm gonna pick one of the greens, because I have hazel eyes. I think it was this one I picked, because it's a little bit, or maybe it was this one. Some of them I like better up close, but then up far away, it's hard to see. Like this one's like a lot darker, so it's got that boldness to it. Otherwise it looks kind of cloudy, but I literally can barely tell a difference. This one's a little bit brighter, that one's a little bit browner. Like from a distance. I mean, there will be close-ups, so it does matter. I guess we'll do the darker one. Let's change this makeup, because it's bothering me. Okay. I think we're just gonna do wings. Or maybe not wings, like this one, maybe. Here, can I change? Metallic tint? You can make it glossy? Oh dear. Hold up. Dang, you can get real, okay. Make it glossy and metallic. Ooh, wow. Ooh. So just the metallic gives it that matte kind of look to it. That brownish kind of, okay. Right. Do I want wings? I usually do wings. I don't think kind that I do with like a little bit of eyeshadow too is really in here. It's kind of just like wings or this one's kind of like basically what I do. I almost feel like it's not bold enough. It's not cool enough. I could do other colors, but I feel like I just want to make the eyes pop, and that's all I really care about. Because, I mean, technically, we could go for some, like, coordinating colors here. But I would rather just change the eyeshadow and still have that be black, so... Oh, well. We can also change the lip tint, which I don't even have the coloration on, so I wouldn't know. Yeah, you can pick whatever colors you want. I'm not gonna do anything. All right, hair, blonde. The hair looks so much nicer now. I'm surprised my graphics card can handle these things. Oh, they also renamed these, I think. I think it was called like ash gray before. Okay, no orange highlights. Let's remove that. I just want like a brown. Yeah, just like a little something something for some vibes. That's all I want. Then you can also have graying, which I feel like the graying you could use to your advantage because you could just create more texture within the hair doing that, like this, versus having nothing. You could just have like a little more blend. So I feel like that works. You can also have facial hair. Even if you're a lady, you can have a nice, lovely beard, which is very nice. Why are some of those purple? Oh, I think it... I don't know why. I don't know why that one's purple. I thought it was maybe something that didn't load in. We're gonna be clean shaven. Okay, we'll look at the beards later because we're gonna have some more to do. All right. All right. We need to. We'll come back to the spells because that's gonna be the point of contention. Now let's go to our background. Ooh, they have whole little things now. You want a Santa beard, please? Oh no, I'm not doing it. You can't make me. I'm still curious if I thought I wouldn't spend an hour on this, but you know me. Hold on, do I really want this face? I'm still debating. This one's maybe like a little too supermodel-y, even though I like it more. Why does the skin tone feel like almost darker on this one? Lightest, palest possible. That's me. I feel like their complexion, they have like more red or something going on versus this one. This one I feel like is more of an approachable face, I think. A little less serious. So I think we'll go with this one. I have rounder cheeks and stuff, so really I should pick something that's more like me. So, because it's supposed to be me. All right, so backgrounds, we're gonna skip on over to here because I feel like this is so much easier to pick than debating on spells and cantrips and stuff. All right, so you can be all these different things. Essentially what they do is they give you some extra proficiency and skills, but also, because you're a custom character, you can get inspiration points throughout the game, and those allow you to reroll some rolls and like dialogue checks and stuff. And in order to get inspiration points, you do things that sort of align with your background. Like if you're an entertainer, you do like performance checks and stuff. I feel like I'm a little too pale. I'm like looking at it from a distance, you know? I'm like, oh, that's actually a little pale. And that's pallid. That's pink. I feel like that one's the most normal looking right here. It's like a little bit dark, but like good. Okay. What we're gonna be is I am a lore nerd. You all know this. So we are going to be a sage, which means we are curious and well-read with an unending thirst for knowledge. Learning about rare lore of the world will inspire you to put this knowledge to greater purpose, which sounds exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna risk it for that lore knowledge biscuit. All right, so we are gonna have a proficiency in Arcana and History, which means the ability to recognize magical stuffs and historical things, but not religious things. All right, and as far as other proficiencies, we get to pick 3. So we already have these set. I think what would fit me the most is, even though we're gonna have a +3, why not more? We're going to pick persuasion because that's what I'm going to do a lot. And we're going to pick deception because that's what I'm going to do a lot too. Even though I'm going to have a high charisma bonus, I want to succeed in these things. Intimidation's also charisma, but I feel like I'm not the type of person to really intimidate. I'd rather deceive somebody or persuade someone. I think the other one we should probably put a point into is insight, because I am terrible at telling. I'm terrible at reading people, and I think too much into it. So I think insight would be the one to pick here, because I want to be the dialogue person. Keep in mind, as far as perception and such, we're going to have other party members who can roll these things. So we don't have to be good at everything, even though we're a jack of all trades. And performance, we have enough points in that. I think we'll be fine. I don't think we need to rely on super high performance checks, which could be acting to trick somebody. It could be playing music. It could be a lot of things. But I feel like we're already going to be so good at it, it's probably fine. If anything, we could always save skill if we really want to do. Okay, ability points. I gotta remember what I had before. Generally speaking, from what I understand, the way to do this is you want to have 2 things that you really want away from an even number, because once you hit an even number, you get an extra super duper bonus. Well, this is confusing how this works. Can I just like... What are these bonuses for? Are these for being... I don't know what these bonuses are for. See, our wisdom is not great. Our dump stat would be strength. We're going to have 8 strength, which is the lowest we can go. But keep in mind that it means you're also not very good at carrying a lot of stuff. As a bard, what we want to do is we're essentially a support class, the way I'm going to play bard. We're going to be a bard college of lore, which means I'm a support. My role on the team is to get them checks and dialogues, and otherwise I'm trying to disable enemies and stop them from doing things, or aid my allies by buffing them. I think mostly I'm disabling enemies to make it easier for my allies to hit them and such, and occasionally I toss out like a heal or something like that. So I want to have good dex so I can dodge stuff. I want to have good constitution so I don't just get hit once and I die. And otherwise, having higher intelligence makes sense for my background because I'm supposed to be pretty good at memory and mental power. And charisma is our stat that all of our spells scale with, and also for talking to people. So I think having lower wisdom's fine. I mean, that's... I don't think we're ever going to get plus bonuses in wisdom, which is why I think we should have the insight check +2. Plus any bonuses from things like guidance and such should help enough with that. Because I really want to know whether somebody's lying, because it's so hard to call it out, and it'll be a check, and I have to... So I think insight's the one to do. Dumping wisdom? I'm not mad, just disappointed. I didn't dump... This is literally the recommended spread. I mean, what do? I get a +1 in both, or a +0 in both for funsies? I mean, I want to have that +4 by level 3. Yeah, wisdom's perception, but I'm gonna have like 3 other party members who can perceive stuff hopefully better than me. To be fair, we've only been streaming for an hour and a half, so we've only spent an hour in character creation, not 10 hours. All right, let me go ahead and pick the things that I thought I was gonna pick. We're gonna grab light. And most of these are like kind of like... we're gonna have vicious mockery, which is the bread and butter of being a bard. You insult a creature in which there are like at least 40 or so insults recorded. We insult a creature and then they get disadvantage on their next attack roll, assuming that they don't make the wisdom save. We're gonna get light because it's not a concentration spell, because most of our spells are actually concentration. We are going to grab Tasha's Hideous Laughter, which makes a creature fall prone of laughter without the ability to get up if they fail a wisdom save. 100% we're gonna speak to animals. We're not gonna grab any of the charm stuff because I'm scared of making something mad at me. Though technically animal friendship you'd probably use in a beast in combat. Same with charm person. I'm debating on Bane, but this is a concentration spell. I really want to grab Fairy Fire, even if we don't need it yet. Because Fairy Fire is just cool. I want to light up stuff with RGBs. All targets within the light turn visible, and attack rolls against them have advantage. Which also, I think, negates darkness. I imagine. Like, the disadvantage from being in the... Human Gale can't see them. We don't need Featherfall. Some of these spells I know that our wizard can learn, so I'm trying to avoid doubles. Like, I'm not going to pick Sleep because I know he gets that at the start. So I'm not going to pick that because I know we're going to have it anyway. Featherfall, I think we can find a scroll for it. I don't really care about Thunderwave because I'm scared of being next to somebody and then I can't use it. Probably Healing Word because we can use this from a distance. Heal someone we can see for slightly less healing than this one, but we don't have to touch them. Cure Wounds you use outside the battle. Healing Word, you get somebody who fell to 0 back up. That's the goal. There's a bunch of different instruments you can get as a bard, and these are your starting instrument. You're actually proficient with all of them as a bard. You just have like the skill to play instruments, guaranteed. So you can pick all of these, and these are going to be used when you cast your spells, and I think the music changes a little bit too with them when you cast a spell or something. We're going to pick a violin because I made an emote for it, and I can play a tiny bit of violin. Not much, but it's something. Okay. All right, everything. I think everything's correct. All right, guys, you thought it was over, but we have to name ourselves first. Frost, of course. You thought it was over.
You need a guardian. Choose one.
This is different. It used to be Who Do You Dream Of? We need to make a whole new character. And I know exactly who we're gonna make. Dang, look at him. He got super cool in over the span of 3 years. Oh. Looking forward to tomorrow's stream when we finally hit play. Excuse me, when we hit Venture 4. All right, we're ready. We're ready.
Good luck.
Hey, he just said good luck. I'll leave you guys on the screen. I'll just be right back. I'm not even gonna throw it on a break screen. I'll just be back. I'll be back. You can admire our gorgeous Tavar from ye old. He was a ranger once, but now he's a guardian. Bam. Freeze frame. All right, we ready? Are you guys ready? Excited? It's been at least an hour just here ruining all the tension of the story. So maybe I should give you a story so far for the cutscene that happened at the start. We woke up. There was a mindflayer. They plucked a tadpole out of a pool. They infected a Githyanki girl with it because it crawled in behind her eyeball. And the same was done to us. And that's it so far. You got snacks? Yes. Are you guys ready? You need snacks because we're gonna have a cool cutscene. You guys ready? You guys ready? Let's go. Let's venture forth. This is a really good one. This is the same from the early access. These are mind flayers, or illithids. They're very not good. He's on a weird spaceship. By the way, this is not Baldur's Gate. This is some other town that I don't remember the name of. Just for context. Some other town upriver. Up the shore, something. It's not Neverwinter. It's some other small town I never heard of. City. I don't remember hearing that before. I'm looking it up. Durgans. It is Yartar. Or Yartar, I don't know. That's the name of this town. 200 miles east of Baldur's Gate. But it may be up north by Neverwinter. I don't know, something. Those are red dragons. There's Gith riding them because Gith have a pact with Tiamat, the dragon, evil dragon goddess. So they're allowed to ride red dragons around. And they can just plane shift. I can't wait to just be jam into that leitmotif. She needs some better pants. She's got her butt hanging out pretty much. So, oopsie whoopsies. We're in the hells. You know, just enough Forgotten Realms lore to sound like you're an expert to someone who knows nothing about the Forgotten Realms. Yeah, we're in the Nine Hells in Asmodeus, I believe. The first layer. This is new. Bit different from the pods in the cinematic, but don't worry about it.
My head.
My head. Questioning my choice of which voice I wanted now. Yeah, so in this area my game's currently running somewhere around like 30 FPS. But that's just how the whole game's gonna run pretty much. It's a lot of effects, but you guys shouldn't even really notice, to be honest, unless I'm like moving like this. It might look a little chunky. You guys won't even notice, so I think it's fine. Let's look around. I missed all the tutorials that popped up on the screen, but I already know how to play this game, so it's fine.
Might still be stuck inside if we hadn't been attacked.
So our character is generally speaking a silent protagonist, but when we're on the overworld interacting with things, or in very specific cutscenes, they will talk. But otherwise, we're silent in dialogues and such. Even if you play as the other characters, they are silent in dialogues, because that's a lot of voice acting to do.
Someone else got out. Might be other survivors. Not everyone made it out alive.
Ooh. Ew. Alright. A little glance around here. It's a mindflayer. Ooh, okay, this is randomized loot because last time I checked they had an agate. This is a pearl.
Dead. Good. Wonder who was inside.
So we got some other escapees. Recruit the mindflayer. Isn't that animated emote? I love it. Turned out so well for something I made last minute within a day. Let's go check out the first interactable of the game as I proceeded almost press Q thinking I'm playing Baldur's Gate 2.
This is the pool that thing came from. The parasite now writhing behind your eye.
Let's investigate the pool. Because I have a +1 in intelligence, we get a bonus. Some dialogue options require a skill check, a dice roll that must meet or exceed a target number. Your character's skills add a bonus to this roll. So because we have that intelligence of 12, we have a +1. So let's see how we do. We gotta roll higher, or a 10 or higher. Oh God. It's the first roll. Oh. This is gonna turn out, this is a great playthrough so far. The funny thing. So the first time I played the early access on launch, the first thing I did in combat is I threw a random object from my inventory at an enemy, and I got a crit and killed them. So this is just a callback to that moment. Very first combat, first thing I did, I threw a seashell at something, or some kind of alien shell, and then it killed them with a crit. So it's just, it was meant to be. First we got cheese, and now we got a critical fail. It's bound to happen.
You notice nothing more than meets the eye.
You've rolled a 1 on this skill check, a critical failure. Critically failing on a skill check means you will fail, no matter what your ability modifier is. Same thing with a critical success, you will always win. So, I'm gonna use some, you know what? It doesn't matter. We're gonna reach toward the pool, because it's funny. That investigation check says that it's very unstable. Maybe you shouldn't touch this. But luckily, there are no consequences in this room because there's a restoration thing.
Odd. I feel better.
We stuck our hand in a place where it didn't belong. Oh, look at the lights. It's almost like it's guiding me in this direction. Okay, somebody downgraded the illithid doors. The heck, they don't open on their own anymore. Who turned off the automatic sliding doors? Come on, people. Ugh, it's so gross. God, I love the architecture and all. It's so weird.
We are trapped.
Oh, it's a goblin.
Images of goblins, their habits and histories flash into your mind.
Pick it up. Maybe I shouldn't keep that. Might be a bad idea. Ooh, a gold.
A schematic of a nautiloid flashes into your mind. Nerves, sinews, as much living being as ship.
The nautiloid is the ship, by the way. Because it's in the shape of a nautilus. Hello?
We are trapped.
I think these are like a little out of reach for me to grab them. Uh-oh. They're too far away. My hands can't reach. Alright, well, I guess we won't get to know what those say, because I can't reach them. Oops. Eldritch Tablet, that's new, I think.
1,000 years of humanoid history. Elves, dwarves, humans, and more flash behind your eyes.
Mindflayer horticulture.
Ugh. Weird brain corals.
Here.
I should mention that even though you can highlight some interactables in the game, not everything is highlighted. So you still want to explore around and see if there's anything else.
We are trapped.
Alright, let's go have a look at our little friend up here.
Help us.
Alright, us. Might be a little bit of body horror here for anyone squeamish. There's gonna be a lot of it in this game, I'll say that. Well, the ship hasn't crashed yet.
Yes, you've come to save us from this place. From this place, you'll free us.
The exposed brain quivers in expectation.
Please. Before they return. They return.
I don't think I wanted to perceive that. You sound afraid. Why?
The enemy. So many enemies.
Who am I talking to? A man or a brain?
A newborn. Born new from this husk.
You realize you're talking to an intellect devourer, a minion of the mind flayers who abducted you.
Sage. Yeah, so the way I'm going to be playing this character is, as much as I'd want to mess with us here, I'm going to play this character in the way that I would react in this game, in this world, in which I ain't touching any of this shit. I don't care if there's promises of power and anything like that. No, this is chaotic. What would it be? This is horrifying, awful things that we shouldn't be playing around with. It's bad news. Like, anytime there's some kind of evil energy like this, you don't just go, well, what if we can use it? No, that's a stupid idea. Why? No, there's always consequences for using stuff like this. So we're just gonna destroy the brain. It's a bad idea to start using the evil powers, thinking that you're better than them and you're gonna, you know, get away scot-free. That's not how it works. There's always consequences. Oh, yeah, the intellect devourers in the D&D movie. Oh, the blood everywhere. Oh. Myrnath fell to a lethal blow. Keep in mind that Myrnath was basically already dead. His brain had been infested by a nasty bug that was trying to escape. It's just that his nerves and things were still connected. So fun fact, most of the characters in this game are actually named. So this guy was named Myrnath. And if we fight some random bandits, they all have names. So we can feel even more bad.
Brains.
Ew, that has tentacles in it.
Odd.
A little odd. Alright. Are there any chests up here? I don't think so. Just brains. Oh. Why did you squish it and not stab it? Because we don't currently have any weapons equipped, it seems. That would be a good reason. We only have a hand crossbow. What are you gonna do with that? Regardless, you squeeze it, but maybe it's because we didn't have a weapon, you know? Going down. Fun lore bit, the main Illithid's god's home was placed in the true neutral plane by the planescape setting, because they're so horribly alien and monstrous that they didn't actually map properly the alignment forces of the planes. Oh dear. Shoot it. They have bits of brain under your nails. Yeah, well. You guys ready for something new? You guys like new? Because this bit's new. And this is as far as I've played. There's 2 dragons now. And they're shooting laser beams. Also, there's a weird effect on our skin in this area, and I got nothing, no graphics setting fixed it, so it's a bug. Ignore it.
Abomination. This is your end.
Your head throbs and your skin tingles. Visions rush past. A dragon's wing, a silver sword, and a flash of your face seen through the strange woman's eyes.
Ugh. My head. What is this? Skvar. You are no thrall. Vlaakith blesses me this day. Together, we might survive.
This is completely different. Normally, the way this worked in early access is we ran along, we had a little jump tutorial, we ran along, and she was just on a tiny little ledge, jumped down, and that interaction was pretty different. Now it's way more cinematic and cool. We're not any more abomination than you are now. Well, what made you think I was a thrall? New dialogue option.
We carry mindflayer parasites. Unless we escape, unless we are cleansed, our bodies and minds will be tainted and twisted. Within days, we will be Geich, mindflayers.
The models definitely look better now than they did in the early access build. But I think the animations are a lot more detailed now too. It's kind of crazy. Don't trust her, she has a worm in her eye. We also mind melded there together. We're turning into mind flayers. There must be something we can do.
We can do nothing until we escape. That must be our priority. First, we exterminate the imps. Then we find the helm and take control of the ship. We will address the matter of a cure for this infection once we reach the material plane.
She's gone. This is completely different, by the way. Normally, we got to stand outside. We could go through the entire dialogue tree. Now she cuts us off, runs off, like you think Lae'zel would. And we have an entire encounter in a completely different area that wasn't here before. Let's do it. So what we can do in combat, something very useful, is we can examine enemies. So this is an imp. Level 1, they have an AC of 7, which means we need to roll a 7 or higher to hit them. We can see all of their stats, which is very useful for, remember, if I have certain things have saves, we want to roll for things that they're not as good at. No resistances, they have dark vision, devil's sight, and they can do opportunity attacks. And we can see what size class they are if we wanted to like pick them up and throw them. Their initiative is minus 21 for the tutorial, so you will go first. That's hilarious. You are guaranteed to go first in the tutorial because they just made their initiative so bad that they can't possibly go earlier. These are flying, are they? Oh, they are flying here too. That's funny. Their movement speed is 0, which I think means that they can't move. Why did the stream freeze? Oh. Oh, that's just you gamers, yeah. All right. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do something very, very basic, which is the tested strategy of just running up and smacking them because we can hit them with 95% accuracy. Let's do it. Her armor class, I'm sure, is way higher than mine, so she'll be in the way. Also, the music changes when we get kills and things. Really cool. I only have a hand crossbow, which makes me worried, so I'm just gonna shoot and pray. Ugh. Alright. If you want to run in between, please. Oh, it tells us what the action is now. They hide your bar now when it's the enemy's turn, so you can have more focus on what's happening. That's crazy. All right. Well, you can't. Oh, you have opportunity attacks. Why did I do this to myself? Okay. Well, we have shared initiative because we're moving in the same time, so. Oop. They're threatened. 90%. Good.
You proved surprisingly adequate in battle. Now, to the helm.
All right. Flute. Potion of speed. The void bulb. This is cool. You throw the alien bulb at a target and possibly pull in nearby objects and creatures. Nice. I love how everything has flavor text too. It's pretty cool. A scimitar. Can I use that? Do I have proficiency in a scimitar? I am not proficient with martial weapons or scimitars. Well, darn. All right. Anybody have like a short sword? I don't think I can use a hand axe. Wait, it doesn't say I can't. What are my? What are my? Did they move them? Where I had? There's a list of proficiency somewhere and I don't know where it is. I thought it was like over here. But it's not over there anymore. I don't know where they moved them to. Simple weapons. Okay, I can use all these. And martial weapons. Gotcha. This is a simple weapon, this hand axe, so we'll put that. It does 0 to 5 damage. It's a 1d6 minus 1. Wow, what a weapon. I honestly potentially could be better using my fists. That's sad. Alright, let's loot. Anybody have like a short sword? That'd be a light crossbow. I'll take that. Dead thrall. Is there anything around here? Ooh, there's some buttons over there. Maybe we should take a look at that. We actually didn't take any damage, which is good. Can I hit the buttons? I cannot touch the buttons.
Nothing but brains. Food for mindflayers, I suppose.
Yeah, this whole area was expanded out. This is very different.
Ship won't be able to take another dragon attack. We need to get out before it's too late.
I feel like I regret picking this voice because it's not quite me, but it's fine. All right, do what we're meant to do. Equip a rapier. Because we can't really do anything else. And a rapier is just cool. 3 to 10. Wait, what are the? I think we're wearing something better than the robe, right? Yeah. Okay. Ew. Ooh, a potion of healing. Oh, is there anything over there, I wonder? No. Okay, we can't just jump that. This whole area is different. It's so weird. It's like a fresh new game. And now we're in this room? You know what? I bet I know why. It's because the way that other room was designed before, there was this issue where the camera was always too close to the ceiling and it would trigger sounds from a way later combat and things. That's probably why.
Istik, back! Touch nothing without knowing its purpose.
Okay, just calm down.
Damn it.
It's always a good sign when I hit save. Let's see.
Another mystery.
Darn it.
Can't read this script. Annihilate.
Okay, that's the only one we needed to know. Perfect. I read what I needed. Annihilate. All right.
The man isn't dead, but he's totally unresponsive.
You saw that on his chest? There's a special little symbol over there.
Get me out of this damn thing! We have no time for stragglers.
Ooh, the weirdy. Let's look for a latch that might open the lid. Because ours just popped open.
The construction is too alien. Nothing looks familiar.
This ship is crashing. Do you intend to die for a stranger?
I just noticed she's basically wearing sandals. She's not even wearing boots. She's wearing sandals. I'll go look around. There must be some way to get this thing open.
Try that contraption next to the pod. They did something to it when they sealed me in. Hurry! Please!
Understandable to be very scared in a situation like that. Ooh. Loot. I'm gonna take the backpack too. You always need bags in Larian games. Touch.
The console appears dormant.
Alright, well let's look for a switch or something.
The mechanisms are completely unrecognizable at first, but then you spy an empty socket.
There's some like weird graphical effects going on. Yeah, I don't think we hit it. It's an empty socket, so it needs something. Don't just smack it.
Whatever fits in that socket must power this thing.
Saw a little brain run by. What's in here?
Faint images appear in your mind. A brain, a Githyanki warrior, and centuries of darkness.
Dark mind. It's going in my pocket.
Jar. Needs a key.
It's a necklace. Interesting. Let's go look around. Ooh, a key. Certain items such as keys, ingredients, and camp supplies are sorted into handy containers in your inventory. That's new. Oh, they just go in the thing. I don't have to make my own pockets to put all these dang things in anymore. That's nice.
Skra. How many hosts of these gay infected?
Scimitar might be better. It does the same amount of damage. Both are finesse weapons, so they're using my dex, so. Hello.
Dazed woman is trapped inside the pod. She doesn't notice you.
Music's very different from before. What's this? Cartilaginous chest with some healing stuff. A slave mind.
Another brain.
Eldritch Rune. Ooh, there's another one.
Unlock those controls next to the pod.
Oh, the Eldritch Rune? A strange energy buzzes through this alien object. You're sure you've never seen any of the like, yet part of you recognizes it as a component of some bigger machine. I can't look at what's in there. Mysterious. Okay, there's some like weird graphical stuff going on. It's like having trouble loading things, I think, or something. You see that? I wonder if it's one of my settings. That's weird. Alright, we're gonna enter turn-based mode. Because we're gonna kill this one. Actually, we'll have Lazy. I'll go first. Yeah, I think it might be a driver issue because I don't think there's an NVIDIA update out yet for this game. Nice. I was worried it was gonna hit us. Yeah, I'm just gonna assume it's an NVIDIA thing. It's just a driver thing because there wasn't a driver released today. So let's just assume that. Just try to ignore it as best as possible. All right, save. What does this say?
Could mean anything.
I remember when I tested this before in early access, I got every single one of them right. And now I've only gotten one. But I guess one is better than none. +2 Arcana check. Actually, no, it's a +3 because Arcana's intelligence. What was my roll? I rolled a 6. I needed a 15 and I got a 9. Good job, me. We're gonna push it. It says perfect. Touch it.
As you place your hand on the pod, you hear something. A presence connected to the pod, commanding the person inside to change.
Changed at the pull of a lever. How? If we are not purified, this may be our fate.
Corellin, preserve me. That cannot be our fate.
The newborn mindflayer stares at you, weak and dazed.
Yeah, normally Ceramorphosis takes, what is it, like 7 to 14 days? Normally you can't just spam Mind Flayer, so that's weird. Yeah, at least a week. Like you start feeling all these terrible symptoms, your like hair and teeth start falling out, spitting up blood, you know, the usual. Alright, I got a key. Oh, it tells me what key I used. Isn't that nice? Alright, we have the thing for this.
The console appears dormant.
All right, let's insert the rune into the socket.
The console hums to life. But what is its purpose? Will it free the captive or transform her like that other unfortunate?
Let's do an Arcana check. Let's take a look at the powered up console. 10. The save is cursed. It's cursed. We're gonna fail every single check. I have the karmic dice off, so this is just pure randomness.
Nothing in the appearance of the device betrays its purpose. It could do anything. It could even transform the occupant of the pod, like what happened before.
Let's touch it. You know what? It's better to turn into a mind flayer than to be trapped, you know? And then, I don't know, the ship crashes and burns and you die. Let's touch it.
Suddenly, you feel a hideous squirming in your head. The parasite. Then discomfort fades, and another sensation washes over you. Connection. Authority.
We're gonna do it because we're gonna try to save someone. Illithid wisdom. So illithid choices are part of the story. Because being implanted with a mindflayer tadpole is a fate worse than death, isn't it? Also, this is the reason why we have an authority emote. Wisdom +1, let's go. Which is actually good that we have the wisdom bonus because these are all wisdom checks. But luckily, it has a difficulty class of 2, so it would be very, very unfortunate for us to fail. Actually, it is not impossible for us to fail. If we roll a 1, we fail. Well, at least we got something right, you know?
You feel the biomechanical brain of the console process your command and yield to it. A shiver runs across your mind. You feel sated.
I told you! It's bad. It's bad. Sorry, we're gonna barely use it.
At last. Thought I was done for. I thought that damn thing was going to be my coffin. Thank you.
Your mind lurches into her thoughts. Her gratitude is mixed with wariness because you have a Gith with you.
Racist.
You keep dangerous company.
Okay. Immediately, thank you. Oh, racism. Well, obviously she has a problem with Gith. But to be fair, Gith are known for being an evil race that just kill most normal people on sight because they just don't care. So it's probably healthy to be a little wary. Very militaristic. They're there for a goal. We got some weird artifacting going on. It's bothering me. Hopefully it doesn't exist outside this area. Well, dangerous company is what you need in a fight. That sounds like a stupid answer. That's a stupid answer. I don't want to say that. Because that would just mean, oh, see... Shadowheart is a very cautious individual, and this is a foolish answer to say. The thing is with most of her dialogues, it's very easy to be defensive. And obviously that doesn't play well. Yeah, the Githyanki are ruled by a psychotic lich queen named Vlaakith, and there are few, if any, known renegades. Wariness is not wrong when confronted with an obvious Gith warrior. Yeah. I'll just say this. Did you feel that just now? We were in each other's heads.
I did. It must be because of those parasites they put in us. They'll have to wait. I need to get off this ship alive first. Let me come with you. We can get off this ship and watch each other's backs along the way.
Alright then, let's get going. I'm Frost.
Shadowheart. One moment.
What's that? What's that?
It's nothing. Trust me.
Enough of this chatter. We need to get to the helm. Now.
It's just a plot
She's
device.
right.
Don't worry about it.
Lead on.
I need my D20. It's actually like a D15, I think. I counted it before. 15? Well, it has to be even. A D16. It's just a plot device that I have to forcibly give the player at some point. Don't worry about it. The ends to which they made to make sure that you get that thing are a little ridiculous. It's also funny. I appreciate how the characters all have custom portraits now. Or I mean, yeah, instead of just being renders. I mean, ours is obviously a render, but... more healing spots if you needed them. I guess we're not gonna wander on the helm then. Or
Once
on the
inside,
okay.
do as I say. Who put you in charge?
I'll trust my own judgment.
Children, behave. Calm down. Jeez, we're just gonna go get out of the hells. Are we there yet? Alright. Oh, I didn't check what weapons she had. Oh well. She's got a mace or something. Cambion. I remember that attack. I've died to it many times. To get felled by imps. That is sad.
Thrall, connect the nerves of the transponder. We must escape. Now.
He looks so cool and different.
It. We will deal with the Geich after we escape.
This thing's falling fast. Got to right it.
Oh, there's imps just here now. These guys weren't here before. It was actually just like a... Oh, no, they were. Oh, and there's a Hell's Boar. So fun fact, we can actually kill Commander Zalk here and get his sword, which is really cool, apparently. But I'm not that good at the game, so we're not gonna do it because it takes a long time. Especially with my class. Look at that! Look at his little glowies! He just got a big old smile. And a boot. Notable features, poison resistance. Well, that's good to know. Good thing I totally am using poison. Okay, they're a fiend. Very cool. Alright. We got shared initiative. Shadowheart, you've got a lot of stuff I recognize. I probably should wait to use a spell. I mean, I got 2 spells launched. You know what? Kind of just want to yeet out a guiding bolt. I mean... Yeah, I think we're just gonna yeet out a guiding bolt. See how it goes. 75? No, that's 95. That's a guaranteed kill, basically. Guaranteed, except for that 5%. We're gonna go for the boar, though, because that guy's gonna take 2 turns to take down otherwise. Nice. Good job. Alright, I'm just gonna have you move up in range. So we need to move forward anyway. Okay, they're threatened because there's an enemy on them, so it's a higher chance for me to hit. I do have a piercing shot. Possibly inflicts gaping wounds. I don't think we need to worry about that because he's probably gonna die anyway. Well, actually, probably not. Undead and constructs can't receive gaping wounds, so thank you for letting me know that. Undead confirmed can't bleed. I think we will do the piercing shot just in case he survives. Ooh, lucky save. Okay, that wouldn't. I don't think that would have killed him anyway. They still have gaping wounds though. No, it says they failed. And then they said, oh, okay, they got hit a couple times then. I'm confused. It's like they failed and then they succeeded. I think maybe they succeeded against the gaping wounds again? I don't know what's going on there. Oh, this just makes it to where your attacks deal 2 more piercing damage. Remove by healing. Oh, well, that's kind of a cool thing that I have for the future. Alright. Just move up. Actually, if I move over here, they'll be threatened, so I'll do that. Switch to melee. Okay, Lazal. You should probably just kill this one, actually. Can I loot? No, no loot. Oof. So cool looking.
Take this ship, or Zarion will have your head.
All right, we're a little far to hit that guy. We can only move 9 meters, which is not that far. So we're gonna do a Sacred Flame, because that's for free. And of course it missed. Good. It's a saving throw. Okay. I'll use your bow. All right. Probably should just be ending their turns. I could do a Ray of Frost, but that isn't really gonna matter. So I'm just gonna hit them with my hand crossbow. I don't need to worry about movement right now. Nice. Critical miss. Nice. Just for funsies. Look at the tentacles just waving around. Let's do a Sacred Flame. We got a whole lot more to go through. Hey, nice. Just for funsies, we'll just go through. Noticing a little bit more chunkiness over here with the frame rate. You're here for the critical fails. Axe, our first roll of the game was a critical fail.
An ode for you. Odeur, mayhaps.
Ooh! Let's not engage with him at all. I don't want to get an attack of opportunity distance. We'll just take some pot shots. Get a lot of health. Uh-oh! Yeah. My internet's been having issues lately, where it seems like it just randomly decides to die for no reason. I don't know why. Yeah, my net rolled a nat 1. Absolutely nothing happened between the stream dying and here, so we're good.
Leave him to me. Connect the transponder. Kill them, or your spine is dry.
Nearly
Alex.
out of scan. Ignore the devil. Now or never. We must take the transponder.
I like how they crossed out my vicious mockery. I appreciate that this game actually tells me what all the roles are, unlike Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. Oh gosh, so many. Can I expand this, please? There we go. Lost condition. Yeah, he got disadvantage. What did he roll? Okay, he rolled a 12. Interesting. These are the things I like to know. I just want to know what they rolled, darn it.
Hurry, before they strike.
Oh, we got some more friends. Alright, we're gonna do another guiding bolt on that one. Nice! Strike. This area is a little bit more chunky for my poor graphics card, if you can't really notice. Yeah, we might need to turn down some more settings for next time, but I'll have to test that on my own. I just didn't want to see too much of the tutorial and spoil myself too much. For what could potentially be new. Alright. I don't think any of these guys have loot, right? Yeah. We're just gonna listen to their advice and we're going to ignore Devil. He just has too much health, I think, for our class. We have no spell slots left. So we're gonna Sacred Flame. About the usual that Sacred Flame does when you actually need it to count. I suppose we don't need it. Nice. I was hoping that would go through because then if we want, we can actually dash. We can use our turn, our action to dash and get all the way there. We cannot get quite all the way there. We will stop for some loot. There's no loot. Next turn. The dialogue window popped up for you. Weird. Yeah, so the reason we're not just gonna go take down that guy is because they do have some Cambion backup. You get a good head start on them this time. Oof, those are some bad hits. Alright. Let's go.
The helm's alien transponder.
I descended from Avernus.
In time.
That's a nod and a wink to a module. That's a prequel of this. That is. Those Selenites? I don't know what that star is. This is the okay. These are places on the outskirts of Baldur's Gateway over there, up the Chionthar. Wonder how much we're actually gonna get to go to. Is everything I hope so far? I mean, of course. I mean, I've played this part before, essentially, but some bits in it are new. The main thing is I'm having some graphics issues. And my card really can't run the game as well as I want it to anyway. I might try to turn down some settings, but some little weird graphic blips, and I think it just needs an NVIDIA driver update. There just hasn't been one yet. I still find it funny we get hit by a random chunk. Punk. We didn't die. See that little blip. It's something. Yeah.
As you wake, the tadpole squirms in your skull.
That's new. That's new. That's new. All right. What's more important, to see that we landed unscathed or figure out where the heck we are? Let's focus on the now.
The chaos of the crash site confuses the landscape. You'll need to find a settlement or landmark, and you'll need to do it quickly. The tadpole is a death sentence, and the clock is ticking. You need a cure.
We've escaped the Nautiloid and Avernus. And as every Larian game goes, or at least the last two, and this one, we start on a beach. Though it's really more of a shoreline of a river, but you know, there's sand, so it's good enough. Yeah, the funny thing, I think Amelia, did Amelia Tyler point it out, or did someone else point it out? Somebody pointed out that the narrator's lines are kind of judgmental. But when it comes to animals, they're like, oh, they're so cute. And then for the characters, it's like, huh, you could have died. You silly Billy. Rivers have beaches too, this is true. Look how pretty it is. Look at all the... Ew, the tentacles everywhere. Ugh, from the Nautiloid. It's so weird, we didn't get to see any of the surface parts of the Nautiloid anymore because they changed all that part. But probably for the better, that place is always kind of problematic. Mangled Fisher. Oh, these poor people. Hey, it's Shadowheart. Hi. She's got the mysterious dye. By the way, just in case, I found a really good emote on Better Twitch TV, and it conveniently, I typed a W because I was pressing things. Conveniently, it looks kind of like the magic box. I thought it was funny. So anytime this plot device comes up, you guys can just use the magic box emote. Yeah, let's not go and take the thing that she's clutching onto for dear life. I care more about her rather than the mysterious nature of this box. Die. I'm gonna call it die. Palantir, exactly. Wake her up. In the way that you always do, by shaking someone!
You're alive. I'm alive.
Don't ever do that.
How is this possible?
Well, perhaps it was some dramatically timed divine intervention.
The divine tend to keep their interventions close to the chest. Though, I suppose it's not impossible.
What happened to our Gith friend? Shouldn't she be right here?
You might want to reconsider calling her a friend. Looks like she ran off without us.
Well, do you have any idea where we are?
No, I don't recognize this place. But anything's an improvement on where we just came from. First things first, we need supplies, shelter, and most of all, a healer. We might have escaped, but we still have these little monsters in our heads.
We? You want to stay together?
We need each other, and we both know what's at stake. Can't think of better company.
All right, let's get moving.
One thing, just before we go. I wanted to thank you again for freeing me. It would have been all too easy for you to run right past my pod, but you didn't. I'll remember that. Lead the way.
There was a thing that said Shadowheart approves. Yeah, so the reason I have my cam here, so you guys aren't gonna be able to see it, is because if I'm down here, you like literally can't see like an entire thing. You can't see somebody's health in the end, so we're up here. But that does mean I'm gonna have to point out every time someone approves or disapproves because you guys aren't gonna see it. Or maybe it'll just be a mystery. And I'll just be reacting to nothing, so I'm not gonna remember to do that. So you can, by the way, this is a game all about choices. I could have not freed her. I could have just ran past. But I helped her against my better judgment of illithid nasty powers. Ooh, healing potions. An ignoble hat. Foppish and fluffy and built for just the right sort of dome, accustomed to having it set upon the head by other people. Can I wear the foppish hat? Every item has a context menu where you can use it, tag them as wares, or send them to another party member. But it changes my hairstyle, though. But luckily, we can toggle to where we can hide it during just dialogues or just in general. I think I'm just gonna not wear it, to be honest. No hats. You wonder where they make their healing potions from? I don't think the healing potions were from the illithid. I think they were from the innocent people who were nabbed. Some murgrass. So there is going to be a crafting system in this game. But I think it's just for potions, so we may be in luck. Exploring. Look at a fish! Oh look, there's a fish! Oh, they got sharp teeth. So we need camp supplies because we can use them to restore our health, and we use them only when a long rest. You can eat them too.
There must be a settlement somewhere nearby.
So that comment I kind of get. There's usually where there's fresh water you find people. But I mean, we landed next to a river and now we're pointing out that there's fresh water. Got some apples. Oh, you can't just eat them anymore. Okay, good. They're just camping supplies. Before you could eat these and they were essentially healing items and it kind of broke the balance. Shanties for the bitch queen. Oh, it's about Umberly, eh? And we all row with the spray upon our necks. And we all row with the spray upon our backs. And we all row with the sea beneath our feet. And the bitch queen stays the storm. Wave mother, lashes to the prow. Wave mother, we ask to sail your skirt if you allow. Wave mother, sink us if you will. Wave mother, our skulls are yours with brine and sand to fill. Souls away and anchors still, the wind won't move without the bitch queen's will. We'll wait gladly years and days, till the bitch queen brings the waves. Hey ho, she told us so, hey ho, she told us so. The bitch queen is Umberly. She is the goddess of the ocean, and I don't know if she controls rivers and such too. But essentially, if you are a sailor of some kind, you pay a tithe to Umberly before you go sailing. Otherwise, she's an evil person, an evil goddess, and she will sink your ship if she feels like you don't respect her. Such language, my goodness. I'm just reading the literature, Axe. I knew somebody was going to say something. Sigh, I love you. There, I said it. And if you meet me tomorrow, I'll say it again. And again. And keep on saying it till we're old and gray. So let's do it. Let's go to Baldur's Gate. I know it's risky, but so's staying here. The last few months have been hard, but they're always a little easier when you're there. Leave your boat and meet me at the hill overlooking the old bridge. Bring whatever you can carry. We'll make do without the rest. Don't be late. Love, Anna. There's the boat that they were gonna take. Or the boat that they were gonna leave. Maybe we'll find an Anna. Yeah, Umberly is gonna drown your ass. That's how she be. Okay, so we can get into difficult terrain water, and we can get wet, which means I think we can freeze people with our cantrip, which is cool. Push them all into the water. You can craft your own potions, poisons, and elixirs using alchemy. Gather ingredients to distill into extracts, and experiment to brew wondrous solutions. Can I do that now, or do I need tools for that? Oh god, I forgot that we have, like, underwear. We have specific underwear. Probably for the nudie things. that we have disabled because we'll be wearing underwear, so it's fine. How do I do that? Alchemy pouch. How do I do the alchemy? Extract. Ooh. We can make a potion of healing if we have salts of rogue's morsel in any kind of suspension. This is made using the dried gills of the rogue's morsel mushroom. This powder smells surprisingly sweet. And like water. Okay. Interesting. Dang, I know how to make a good little amount of stuff. I just don't have anything to actually make anything yet. Oh wait, I have myrgrass, which is a suspension. Ah. Okay, I'll make a suspension of myrgrass then. I don't think I need it for anything else. Okay, let's do it. There's a belladonna, which was in here. I need a couple of them, and I can make sublimate of belladonna. It's much more straightforward than the divinity system of... Did you know you could take a knife to a stick and make a spear? And then you never use that spear, and you wonder why. What's the point? Ew. It's a teleporter thing. We can teleport around maps using waypoints we find like this. Dagger root. I'll take that. Ashes of dagger root. Okay.
We get that open easily. Maybe there's another entrance.
We don't have any thieves' tools. All right. We're gonna go back over here first. Let's go back this way. Navigating in a particular manner because I've been through this bit before. I know my way around a crashed nautiloid. A lot of money. There's some intellect devourers over there.
More of those wretched things.
Ugh. Don't think they're gonna be so nice to us this time. Maybe we did kill some of them, so. Let's do a little sneaky snake. Sticking to the shadows makes you harder to detect. Your cursor indicates the amount of light in a spot. I don't think we're gonna have to move much. Just go up here. We'll probably be fine up here. Let's do a little bit of ranged action. Nope. Nope. Stop. Okay, her hiding failed, but she's not in combat. But they are enemies, so... And I have the high ground, so I have a 99% chance to hit. Is there anything else I want to do? Nah. Oh, critical miss!
One strike could be lethal.
My enemies are surprised and can't take actions, reactions, or move on the first round of combat. If you... They're gone forever. Wait, her hiding failed, but she's still... Okay. Alright. Somehow, we got all of our spell slots back, because we had a long rest. We were out for a day, it seems. You don't have a ranged weapon. That's not good. Sacred Flame. Come on, man. Disappointing me. Ooh, wait, there's some stuff over there. What is that? Mysterious liquid. A nautiloid tank. That's probably explosive if I can do something about that. But I have nothing, so... Well... should I bother increasing my armor class? I think we're fine. If only you had some kind of ranged weapon. This is poorly thought out. Well... I don't have any kind of flame to do that. I don't think I have any items that are flames either. I don't. I probably, before I came up here, I should have dipped my weapon and then shot it into this, and that would have been cool. But it's too late now. Really? Another critical miss? Come on, man. Ooh, wait, you have ranged attacks now? That's not fair. Oh, they didn't have range attacks before. Oh, I should have saved before. Oh, no. Oh, dear Lord. Okay. Tactician, huh? They didn't have range attacks before. Alright. So when a party member reaches 0, they're down, which is a state between life and death, where they roll each turn to survive. On 3 successful rolls, they stabilize. On 3 failures, they die. Alright, yeah, I'm on Tactician. Apparently these guys have range attacks now that I didn't know about. I didn't save before I came over here. I did, or no, it auto-saved, I think. Okay, I should help her up. She's at 1 HP. Alright, I'll use my bonus to heal. God, we're already using a potion on these guys? Ugh. Let's try to get out of visual radius. Maybe they can't hit us over here. Hey, Nissan. Long time no see. We're dying. You can hit me through the floor? Oh, I guess it was a little crack. Oh, okay. Dear Lord. It's out, huh? Yeah, okay, hold, No, I didn't save before this. Oh, oh no. Ooh. How's my GPU handling it? It's handling it okay. We're at like 30 FPS, ain't great. Alright, drink that. You don't have any actions? Because you had to get up for your turn. Well, no, I helped you up. I don't... No. They can see me through that crack. That's some nonsense. That's what I'm gonna say. Alright, we're gonna just back up first. Alright, we're gonna cast Bane. Oh, Bane has to be within my range. Oh, shoot. I wish I knew that. Well. We're gonna cast Vicious Mockery on, this one. That I can't really see, but he's over here.
Thou high-right loving tit.
Really? You saved? That's a jerk. Okay. This is gonna go poorly. Normally this battle is okay because you can kind of cheese it, but not anymore. Alright. Inspired in case I go down. Thank you. Okay, yeah, dash. That means it can't do anything else this turn. I want them to come up here so she can do something. She doesn't have a ranged weapon. Now the cheese has been fixed. It's only death. Okay. Yeah, we might actually want to use a spell slot on this now. Jeez. Maybe I should up her... What is that? Synaptic discharge? 1d6 plus 2 plus the psychic. Okay. Maybe I should up her armor class. But this is gonna not be good on her because every time she gets hit, she has to make a concentration check. But it is a bonus action, so. Alright, I think we're gonna. No, she doesn't have the other one. Okay. I could throw a heal out. That's a bonus action. Okay, let's do a guiding bolt. I feel like we're gonna need it. Probably on this one I have high ground. Oh, thank goodness. One's dead. Okay. Try and intercept that. I'll do healing word on you. Well. No. Okay. Let's do another vicious mockery.
My life, part 12. The boring opponent.
Oh my goodness. Well, that didn't work out so well. Attack! Shadowheart! Really? Just scoots right past her. Okay, I see how it is. Okay, I see how it is. It's a little better. Jeez, we don't do much damage. I feel bad. That's what I thought would happen, but even if I healed, my character only has 9 HP, so... we might be fine. They're gonna attack to try to kill them, but that's okay. If I can hit, odds are we'll do enough damage. Maybe. I can healing word as a bonus, so. It's healing word.
Take 2.
See how it is. Oh, I don't have an action because I had to get up. Ugh. Well, doesn't my crossbow have something where I can, like, disengage and use it? Isn't that a thing? Well, I don't have an action, though. I can flourish. That's a bonus action. Possibly throw them off balance. If it does 1d4 damage, do it. Nice. Okay. Level up. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oof. We're gonna have to rest a lot more than I thought. Jeez. Yeah, we're already out. She can't get down there unless she moves all the way around. I probably should move her so she's a more likely target. Oh, well, she only has 2 HP. It's probably fine. Oh my god, it hit. Okay, let's do... I don't think we can do a hideous laughter on that one. I think it'd just be better to just attack. I actually can't even see them. Oh, no, I can. How much does this do? 7? 3 to 8. I could do a Bane. That's kind of a waste on one target. This is a wisdom save. That's not gonna work. They're wisdom creatures. I gotta do a vicious mockery.
You louse. You might.
I'm gonna step over here so maybe they'll try to attack me. She's fine. She'll be okay. I don't have enough movement. Okay. I'll help her up next turn. She'll be fine. She got a success. She's okay. Are you just gonna attack me? I see how it is. she's doing fine. I appreciate how they automatically succeed if you win. Okay. Alright, so we can end the oh god, I couldn't read any of that. Where are the tutorials like this? I don't know how to bring them back. Are they just in a menu somewhere? If I wanted to look at them, they're there and then they go away. In the tab menu somewhere. I swear I practiced before we got here, but there's a menu somewhere that has all the things. Session? No, this is multiplayer. There we are. Okay. Short rest. You can short rest to recover half your hit points and save down characters. Some classes will also recover resources on a short rest, which I think is like specifically Warlock, and sometimes you get extra stuff. Okay. Downed. When a party member reaches 0, they're downed. Yep. They're telling us we can end the day. If you have sufficient camp supplies, long resting at camp by interacting with the campfire or bedrolls will restore all hit points and resources. So if your health is running low and your resources are depleted, it may be a time to rest. Visiting camp at night also allows you to talk with any companions or followers you gathered and reflect on your relationships and adventures, meaning don't go through the whole game thinking that you're going to turn any second and then you don't ever long rest, and so you never talk to your companions and you miss all the scenes. He also leveled up. That's nice. That's good. Yeah, warlocks get all theirs. Sorcerers and druids get like, yeah, some stuff. Okay, maybe I don't want Tactician then? Tactician might rub... I can always turn it back on if I want. That was a little too close for comfort, I would say. We did it. It was a little too close for comfort. I want to play around with some stuff versus feeling like I have to be like the most optimal thing ever. Otherwise I'm gonna die. Alright. Let's go ahead and level up then. I was about to hit O, but that's not how that works in this game. Oh, I level up. Serious question. Oh, here we go. I click this. Bard level 2. Oh my god, I got double health. Thank you, please. I missed all the rest because it proceeded without me. Okay. Jeez, I almost doubled my health. Thank goodness. Ugh. My health's too small. I got another spell slot for level 1. I am a jack of all trades, which means I can add half of my proficiency bonus rounded down to ability checks I'm not proficient in. Nice. I have a Song of Rest, which allows me and my allies to be revitalized as though we would have taken a short rest. Essentially, we get a free short rest because I'm a bard. Extra one. And we gained a spell. And we can replace a spell. So I can gain one of those spells I saw before. What would I want? Thinking... I don't know, Healing Word's looking pretty good now. Dissonant Whispers is cool. It's a wisdom save, just like the other one. Frighten a creature, it will be easier to hit and cannot move. They also have disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls, meaning you could go and then like shove them. For 2 turns, they cannot move, which is very strong. It does 3 to 18 damage as well. I wish I could look at my current spells so I could know. Let's just take a look. So this is a wisdom save as well. But this is concentration. The other one is not. The other one's just like a bam. So if I need another concentration spell like Fairy Fire or Bane, that would be very useful to combo with it. But I feel like I should probably have Healing Word. I might need it at this rate. Might be useful. Because Who Boy, I mean, we almost died, but that was Tactician. Tactician's a lot harder and it's unforgiving. I don't care about most of these other ones, I think. This is a damaging thing too, which is pretty nice. Even on a save, they still take half the damage. Which is potentially 9. 9 or less. It's tempting because it's a bard-specific spell. Kinda wanna pick it. Maybe next level up we'll get Healing Word. I mean, I'm not really using most of Shadowheart's spells anyway. Most of my spells are more important. So maybe we won't Healing Word. We'll grab that. Do I want to change anything? We haven't really gotten to a point where I can really test to change anything. So we're gonna keep what we've got. We don't need to change anything. Okay. I'll look at all these things. Ah, we're growing so much. All right, I think we're gonna do that. I feel like Healing Word's probably a way to go, but maybe next level up we can always change it out, you know? Whenever we can change spells again. Nice. Oh. Okay, let's move some of these things around. I want my cantrips at the top, so I can just use those. Okay. This is like a utilitarian thing. So move that over here. These are all concentration, and that one's there. There. Gotcha. Alright, Shadowheart, you need to level up as well. She looks like she's like, what? Where am I? Where did I go? She almost doubled her health as well. Another level 1 spell slot. She has Channel Divinity now. She has a charge. You gain the ability to channel divine energy, starting with 2 effects. Turn undead, and an effect determined by your domain, hers being Trickery. Replenished by a short or long rest. So she can turn undead now. So you can pray to turn all the ones that can see her. And she has Invoke Duplicity as her domain. Channeling. Distract your enemies with an illusion within 3 meters of the illusion. Attack rolls have advantage for you and your allies. Both the attacker and the creature must be within 3 meters of the illusion. Okay. So throw it in like literally the middle of the battle next to somebody, pretty much. 10 turns. You can always shove someone near it. Also, you can multi-class, but we're not gonna be doing that, so. Very straightforward level up there. Just bam, here you get stuff. Actually, I probably should have taken a look at her spell list. Yeah, I probably should look at this, because as a cleric, she can memorize spells. Also, why is her hair, like, pink right now? It's kind of weird. Anyway. Her hair changed color for some reason. A little weird. I don't think we need Cure Wounds and Healing Word. We'll just keep Healing Word for the moment, in case somebody goes down. She has Bane. I'm gonna put Bless on her. Shield of Faith could be good, because her armor isn't the best. There's Command. Command a creature to flee, move closer, freeze, or drop to the ground and drop its weapon. Wisdom save. I probably want Create or Destroy Water, because that'll combo with me. Necrotic damage is very strong, though. Melee only. But she can't really deal much damage otherwise, so. Sanctuary. Man's kind of cool. I don't think I need it, though. See what we got. Alright, I think we should probably rest. We should probably do a short rest. I'll use my Song of Rest.
I can keep going a little longer now.
Nice. Okay. Because otherwise... well, she has an extra spell now because of the rest. Oh, that one's only knocked out. No, kill that thing. I thought we killed that one. No, they're non-lethally knocked out. Get out of here. No, no, no. We do not spare the walking brain monsters. I can make a potion out of their cerebellum. Okay. Guess we're gonna find more of those at some point. Add it to the collection. Okay. Yeah, I probably should have utilized the whole dipping feature. Just shot the explosive goo that's over here. That probably would have been a good idea. An abducted nobleman. Ooh. They have a lemon on them. I would like that lemon. And the mindflayer. Oh, this one has a potion of healing and a caustic bulb. I'll take those. Can we get up here? You stepped in a surface that could be dangerous if affected by elements like fire and lightning. Okay. Most of these can be washed away with water. Some poison. A skull. Spiked bulb. I don't know if I should really... I don't think we need skulls. So we're probably good. Okay. Now I could pick this thing up. How heavy is it? It weighs 25. How much weight can we hold? Shadowheart could pick it up. Why not? Just put that in your pocket. That's totally fine. Alright, well. I have to say, even when I started the stream, I was utterly exhausted. And I still am utterly exhausted. I really should go to bed and just start earlier tomorrow. I think that's the plan. Depending on factors. I think that's what we're gonna do. Because one, I'm noticing some like graphical issues and things, and I can off stream see if I can adjust anything for performance now that we're out of the tutorial and we're in a more normal location. Otherwise, we probably need to wait on a patch or a graphics card driver patch thingy, because you know we're seeing less issues over here, but certain areas still have them. I wonder if it's the fog or the clouds or something. Something's having a weird effect, and I don't know what it is. So we'll just see what happens for tomorrow then. In the meantime, we'll make a new save and we'll do our thing. Oh my god. Oh, I hate this. Okay. What will we say? We'll just do first steps. I can use all kinds of symbols and things now, I think. Yeah. There wasn't... Usually when big games come out, there's a whole big NVIDIA driver update, but there wasn't one for this game. So, I don't know, maybe there will be something. Who's to say? It could also be maybe on like DirectX, it doesn't have those issues, but on Vulkan it does. But Vulkan's the only one I can use for streaming, because OBS doesn't pick up the other one. So, you know, that's the case. Well, anyway. I'll have to decide... If the game feels too easy, I think we'll swap back to Tactician mode. But it's going to be one of those case-by-case bases where if I'm already having fun still, and I'm not just mowing down everything and I'm bored, then, you know, we'll swap around. We'll test it. I just don't want it to be too much to where I'm like, ugh, every combat encounter, and I feel like I can't do fun things because I have to be optimal. So... Don't dream about illithid tadpoles eating slowly behind your eyes. Oh no, the imagery.